All right. So I'll start queuing us up as Jennifer and Paul manage the waiting room. So glad to see all of you, especially we were kind of tentative. Okay, it's December. We're creeping closer to the holidays. It's a Friday. Who are we going to get today? But I'm grateful to see all of you here. Thank you. A quick note as we get going, we are recording this. The recording will get dropped to the HRC platform and we'll have a summary there. So you can quick skim the summary. If there's a section of the what I was demonstrating that you want to go back to, you'll be able to see that in the video. And the other note I want to make, I'm where internet might not be perfect. I have two co-hosts, so if somehow I get kicked off, Paul and Jennifer are there with you and they can keep the conversation going. So today I'm thrilled. This is the first time we've done a public demonstration of the maps that we're creating. And we have two different maps. One is called the Connected Networks map. I'll show you that one first. The second one is the Impact Network map. And that one, so the connected members is, or network is public. It's on our website. I'll show you how to find it. The Impact Network is just for members. So it's behind a wall. Not everybody can get to it. So let me just look at my notes really quick. Wanted to start with, I get asked often, how is HRC, Healthcare Reinvention Collaborative, going to reinvent healthcare? And my answer is always, we're not. We identify, connect, support, and illuminate the change makers. Most of you on this call, I think, are probably change makers. So those of you who will reinvent healthcare, because you can't do it alone. It needs to be together. So we're seeking to be that body that helps to connect everybody and amplify what's going on and enable it. So that's our mission. That's what we're doing. So collectively, we'll reinvent healthcare. But we're really seeking to make your work more visible, to strengthen your collaborations, and to connect you to a broader movement that's working towards that system level transformation I think most of us know or feel that we need to have. And we do that through network mapping, the purpose of this event today, as well as other events that we host. There's one next Friday. I hope you'll join us. Then we do introductions. We shine a light on work, and you'll see on our YouTube channel that there are a number of individuals that we did shine a light features with this year. So seek out their videos and learn from what they're doing. And fundamentally, we work to bring down the walls that isolate our efforts. We're all doing amazing transformational work, but sometimes we can't, it's not seen, it's hidden. And so that's what we seek to do is amplify that. So before we go further, one of the things that we seek to do is make new connections or deepen relationships. And the greatest way to do this is to actually meet somebody new or to converse with somebody that you haven't yet met. So I'm going to ask you if you'll use the chat, drop in your name, maybe where you're joining us from, your LinkedIn URL, what you're working on, any of that kind of information that you might like to share. And so this chat thread will also be shared in a summary. So that information you share, I'm going to assume that means you want people to know it. It's going to be in that summary on the HRC platform. As you're doing that, I'll tell you what this event, the focus and how we're going to manage this event today. The scheduled time, if you saw it, is actually 90 minutes. The first 60 minutes is the event. It's where we're going to demonstrate these two maps. We're going to have time for you to play in the map as well as to ask questions and give us some thoughts. The last 30 minutes, many people have to leave us because understandably 90 minutes is hard. That last 30 minutes is networking conversations. I call it speed networking. It's your ability to quick connect with somebody new, exchange some information, identify. It's kind of like if you've ever done speed networking, which I used to love when I was younger, you get to meet somebody and then you tell the organizer, yes, I would like to follow up with them. And if they said the same thing, they'll follow up with you. Well, this you guys do yourself. You drop it in the chat and say, I want to follow up with you and make sure they have your contact information. But you get about 7 minutes for that. So I hope you'll stick around for the networking conversations. So Paul and Jennifer, I'm curious, I'm not able to watch the chat. Are you seeing anything good in the chat that people are sharing? Anything we should call out?
Not yet.
Okay. So let's talk first about why we're creating these maps. I don't know about you, but one of the things I recognized when I first stepped out to try to lift up my own um, transformational effort is I felt like I was disconnected, isolated, very much alone. And I was surprised, and it still surprises me that on a daily basis, I would meet somebody else who was similarly trying to do something in the healthcare space on their own. Many people are doing meaningful work, but they're invisible to one another. They're invisible to those that they seek to serve. Oh, bless you. Without being connected, our contributions can go unseen. Resources can be hard to find and share. Your efforts feel isolated. And what I find often is we unintentionally compete for attention, resources, and energy. And there is more than enough work out there for us all. So we don't need to compete. We have greater benefit and value to achieving our shared missions or visions for the future of healthcare when we can collaborate. And so these maps make the invisible visible and helps everyone to see where you fit in, or they can see who else is fitting in with them in different categories. So I'm going to show you what we're building together. So let me just transition and share my screen. And the first map that we're going to look at is the Connected Networks map. This is the public facing map. And so I'm going to show you how to find it directly from our website. So if you go to our website, which is healthcarereinvention.com, and let me see if I can drop that in the chat. Yeah, there you go. And then go to the Connected Networks tab. And so here on this page, the top is 3 videos that show you how to use the 3 different views I'm going to show you. So if you want to come back to that, how to use those, go ahead and come here and watch those videos. They are very short. They're embedded here. And you can also open them up. If you hit that YouTube, it'll open it up to a full screen. But down below those videos is the map. And so you can interact with the map right here on our website. And so you'll see as I hover, organizations pop up, and you can get an idea of who they are. You can link right to their website or email out to their primary contact. But when we click on it, now you get a broader profile along that left-hand panel. And so now you can see, you can link out to YL here, since I picked on Caper, and you could find him on LinkedIn, learn more about him there and connect there. But here you can also see other details about what his organization is doing. Now, his are very extensive. He's broadly impacting healthcare. But what I like is if you link here, this gives you the full screen. So you can do it from our website. I encourage you to, but this gives you more real estate if you link out to here. Exact same functionality, just takes up the whole screen. So you can see a little bit better. And so now I know Mindy's with us, so I can hover on Mindy. I'm not sure who else is with us. So I know Todd's with us. So here's Medicine Forward. But again, if you click on that, then you're going to see their profile along the left-hand side here. The 3 dots here are going to open and close that profile. So sometimes you'll see as I'm clicking in here, that will automatically close. It's not gone. You can go ahead and open it back up, but it gives you just a little bit more real estate again. And up here at the top, it's hard to see, but there's an X. So I can X out of the profile and get back to this overview of our map. And the reason why this is valuable is it's going to show you where our 3 different views are and how to get to those. So I'm going to click on, so we automatically default to the connections to HRC. So I can show you here, if I go to filter, I can show you who do we have active relationships with, who are collaborative partners. And so you can get an idea of who we're working with and what relationship we have. There are some that are still just early connections. They're joined with HRC, they're a member of, and we're still exploring and learning about each other. Oops. Can you, Paul or Jennifer, can you mute whoever that was? I'm going to show you here because I'm going to give you the link to this, or you may have already opened it from the website link. When you select all and then none, so sometimes when you select all, not everybody will be connected because they aren't part of what's below. So if you hit none, then you'll see absolutely everybody. I'm going to also show you the search here. So there's a lot of organizations, and if your eyesight's mine, you're going to, like mine, you'd have to make it bigger to be able to see. But if you go here, you're going to be able to click and see all of the organizations who are currently on this version of the map. And so now you could go ahead and click into them. You can also search from here. So you might know, I know Vic is with us. So you might know that Vic is on the map, but you don't know what organization is his. And so if you start to type in Vic, you're going to get talk to nurse, and you're going to see that the primary contact is Vic Rubenfeld. And here's all the profile. So there's a couple different ways to engage with the data. I'm going to go to the filter for ask and offers. And you'll see there's not much different. It kind of bounced a little bit so you can see we're on a different view. And here you can see the filters have changed. You still have the same search functionality. We want to make sure that you can always find the organizations. But now you can see of those organizations who have asked something, have had an event with us or otherwise communicated with us, what they're asking, what they need. You can see the categories here. So there's organizations who are looking for feedback and guidance. And so you could click on that filter. And now if we went in, I'm going to go into Periscope, which is Rosanna. And when I scroll down here, you'll now see the list of what they're asking for. And so since I selected feedback, you'll see here she's asking for feedback and testimonials from those who have benefited from her training. So that's very specific, where Kimberly is looking for some support with sponsorship leads. And so you can see a little bit more detail, but under that categorization. Again, if you select all, not everybody shows because not everybody has entered an ask. If I select none, they're all there. And if I go to the offers, I'm going to go to feedback. Excuse me, I wanted to go to discounts. And I wanted to identify, I think Vicky's with us. So In Progress Coaching has a discount or freebie that they're offering. And when you scroll down here, you'll see she has complimentary coaching conversation, 30 minutes. And here's a booking link. So that's an opportunity for her to identify, here's what I'm offering. And if that's something you're looking for, you can click there and book with Vicky. So I'm going to go to that third view.
Hey, Denise, how can people edit what they've already put in?
Yeah. So right now, because this is in process of being developed, you send the information to me. So down here, you'll see contact information. So it says know somebody who should be included, but you can also say, send Denise your information. And we've locked it down just now because this is currently a beta. We're just playing with this, getting an idea. So we want to make sure that we have things in place correctly first. We're going to work on where those who are members will have a link where they can come out here or come to that edit, and it should automatically reflect in the map. Great question. So the filter of support type, focus area, and population served. So their filters are here. I'm going to show you if we go to area of focus, let's look in at aging and elder care. And so you'll see here, these organizations identify that they work in that space. Now, they likely all work in different areas, and I know that because I know what work CAPER is doing versus dementia, Judy's group of dementia specialist consulting. So she is directly working in that space and helping those who are providing services to the aging. Proxwell has a fantastic tool that they're creating also in that space, but it's different than what Judy is doing. So that's their space, but their actual what they're doing, when you link in here, their description will give you an idea of what they're doing in that space. But these filters enable you to identify those you might want to connect with. So I'm going to show if we went to, let's say the type of support is leadership and organizational development. And maybe you're looking for somebody who focuses in that space and on something like patient experience. Now you're going to be able to see who exactly is in that space. And of course, the people I see here, Marlene with Service Quality Solutions, Mindy, of course, does excellent work in that space. Pontia focuses on compassion in that space. And so this will enable you to find those individuals. So those are the three views that we've created at this time. I'm going to open it up to your questions, your thoughts, but what I'm also going to do is share a link to here and give you a moment to play in this space and ask some questions. So let me stop sharing my screen so I can see you all. And I'll drop that link. If you haven't already opened it from the website, I'll drop the link directly to the website space. And questions, comments? Okay, so I'm putting that link in there. So we're going to give you a few minutes to play. Go ahead and ask your questions as you're doing so. And then after this view, we're going to give you an insight into the developing impact network map. And now that I'm looking at the screen, I can see who's joined us. That's awesome. And I can hear Judy. I heard your laugh. I love your laugh.
I should have my sound off.
Like Robert has a question.
Hey, Robert. Yes, Robert.
Hey, Denise.
Hey.
So I've been playing around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I do have some concerns. So also keep in mind that I've been very much in development mode for like my own app. So a lot of these, UX UI issues are very forward in my mind. And so, I mean, the sort of the floating, icon view and the little legends and stuff.
Yep.
I mean, it's good from sort of like a high level, but I found myself being a little frustrated trying to get at, what does this particular organization do? Right? There's a lot of clicking, and so for me, I find that the users, when they're looking for information, if you can make the user interface a little more flat, so there's not so much clicking and scrolling, because I would have to click on one and then it opens up the side panel, then I have to scroll down to get to the information that I want. I mean, I think this view is fine, but I think if you could maybe offer another view that's maybe a little more tabular, where it's easier to scan, to where I can actually scan through, all of the, like if I filter down to, one of the categories, I then have to go and I have to like click or hover on each one to figure out, well, what does this one do? What does this one over here do? Whereas if I had a tabular view that had, the information laid out, I could look at all of them at once and scan it very quickly and say, oh, you know what? This caper one, that's the one I really want to go and look at.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just my thoughts from like I said, a user experience perspective, and making it easy for people to quickly identify who are these organizations that I want to look at, rather than have to click on each one individually. And then, if there's a bunch of them, maybe I had to take a note, oh, I want to go back and look at this one, and just my 2 cents.
Yeah, great. So Paul, let me respond to Robert, and then I'll have you jump in. Robert, I love that you said that. We're creating this for the benefit of those that we serve. So your feedback is really, really needed and appreciated. So the tool we're building in is Kumu, and we're using that as our test of concept. So we might be creating something ourselves that has a user interface on top of that would allow you to get in differently. So your feedback's really valuable there. When I show you the impact network map, it shows a couple different views. And so the intent there is to actually make the information a little bit more dynamic and useful. And what we're hoping will come of this is there'll be some visual storytelling that can come in regards to how these organizations are connected, how they relate within the overall space of healthcare reinvention. But thank you so much for your feedback. I love it. Thank you. Paul?
Well, you're always very professional and straightforward, Denise, but my sense of humor thought that maybe Robert was volunteering to fix it.
We are looking for people to help us.
And then secondly, Keely had a question in the chat about will locations be put into the map?
Yes. So we used to do that with the first version. We had the postal codes let you see on the map. The tool we're building in, Kumu, is no longer going to support geo functionality. So we're going to have to find a new way to do that. So we are playing with another tool to see whether or not that functionality will be there, or if we can export and put into a Google Map type feature ourselves. So we are playing with that.
Boy, restrained once again by corporate software. Sounds familiar.
Any other questions or would you like some more?
Rebecca's
Yeah,
asked-
Molly. Mhm.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay. Molly?
Hi. So I know that you sent an email out at some
Yes.
point. I get so many of them
Hmm.
regarding joining the network map.
Yeah.
So how would one go about doing that? Just a quick overview.
Yeah. So let me find my document with my link on it and I'll drop that in.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you do this, but I have too many things open right now.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. Yes. So, and we're running a special right now. Yes, because our goal is to get more people in. That's not the right one. So here is the link. It's an ugly link, but that should open up so that you can join us.
Great. And then kind of piggybacking off the location idea,
Yeah.
what about phone numbers? I'm kind of old school.
Ah.
I like to speak with someone, over the phone. It just, I don't know. It's more memorable to me that way than filtering through all my emails sometimes.
Yeah, I think adding phone numbers would be great. That would be, of course, a voluntary thing that somebody says
Yeah,
yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I like that. We can add that field, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Molly.
I have a question, Denise.
Yeah, Keely.
I might have missed this because I did join a couple minutes late, but I noticed that there's like colors on some things like yellow or blue.
Yeah.
Does that signify something? Oh, I see at the bottom, the legend.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yes. So those are what we call our support. Oops, my internet is unstable. So let me Paul and Jennifer, if I get lost.
Yeah, you're breaking up there, Denise.
Okay. Is it still? Can you hear me?
Can now.
Okay. So yes, Keely, we've got some organizations who are connected with us who don't themselves work in healthcare or in transformation, but they are supporters of, so they might help with web development or other types of things of that nature. So they get a special indication. I'm sorry, Jennifer, you say I'm pretty choppy as well. Is it still?
You're okay now.
No,
Okay.
it's good now.
Yeah. Sorry. It's where we're located. So I'm assuming people are still clicking and looking. So I'm going to let you keep doing that for a moment.
Are you still out of the country?
Judy, we got back in from Germany on Sunday. So we're in Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
We'll leave again at
With
the end
all
of
the rain.
February with all the rain. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, Rosanna.
You know, when I'm looking through, I love this map and I love what you're bringing together. You know that. I'm such a fan of this. My biggest challenge, I think, is that it for me are the tag names because they're just too broad and not specific enough for me. So I want to search like I don't know when it comes up. I mean, I guess there's some other options like of ask or offer or population or like I want to go into like who's interested in rural health and rural hospitals and I want a little bit more like I look at the drop down menu, but none of them are what I'm looking for. So I want a little bit more dynamic search, I guess. Like who's rural health, who's rural hospitals, who's been talking about anything around the volunteer role and patient experience, and so some of these are very specific. But some of them are just so broad, like thought leadership. That could be anything.
I know.
It might be rural health, but it might be something or it might be data, which is my thing, right?
Yeah.
Bringing data into the space with regard to that particular topic. But anyway, that's I think one of my challenges. I really like, and I think I went in because of my new role, because of my client with rural health, and I'm really looking to try to connect to get my hands on more information, really connect with people in that space, workflow, workforce pipeline. Like that's another thing that's not really in there, but it's kind of touched on in some of these other areas. So I find myself, much to Robert's, I find myself clicking a lot of clicks to not find what I'm looking for. And that can be frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. Have you tried with the search bar up here? So I'm sharing my screen again. If you put in like data, now I see all of these that would have the word data somewhere in their profile. And so you could also put in rural, and these have rural somewhere in their profile. So I don't know if that might also enhance your search.
Rural. When I type in rural, I don't get what you're getting.
Are you, um,
Oh, now I
Sh-
am. I
oh.
wasn't initially. I am now.
okay. Okay.
What happened to Sam?
What happened to Sam? Oh, they're growing, Judy. So it's still the same organization. They have new partners. So their name changed.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really
Well, because
exciting.
I didn't see him on any of the stuff anymore.
Yeah, he's
Oh, right
yeah.
here.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. He's here, but they're MKC Health now. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I like, you know what, I didn't know, but I actually hadn't really noticed the search bar. Okay,
Sure.
so user error. Usually I found most technical issues usually are operator error. I'll own that. It's usually me. So that helps a lot actually, because I just got some of the information I was looking for. And so I
Good.
guess the only other thing I would say that it would be great as collaborations do happen, as we have communities of interest, if
Yeah.
there was a link to those, right? So-
Yes, indeed, indeed. So that's a really nice tee in to looking at the other version of the map that we're playing with, which is the impact network map. Is everybody ready for me to do that?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. So similar type map, the visualization here differs. So let me walk you through what we're looking at here. So now you can see that there's some connections. There's some visual connections. The legend here tells you how they're connected. But let me just scroll in on one. So here's a group. Their primary domain is in human-centered care. And of these that are listed here, so now not all of these are members of HRC yet. The ones with logos in them are. So those are the same ones who would be found on the connected networks map, the public facing. This map is behind the scenes. Now, Envision Kindness, I think he's with us today. Logo not here because I just didn't update it yet today. I'm so sorry about that. But we have some people who have recently joined us, so we'll add those logos. But you can see here these organizations centered around domain topics. So what we were looking at when we were looking at all of the data of what people are doing, what organizations are doing, is how do we categorize these in a meaningful way? And this is what we came up with. But I think I've said it once, I'm going to say it again. We are looking for people to partner with us in the creation of this map. So would love for other people to look at this and tell us what is the better way of thinking about, or another way, so that somebody can pick the view that best fits them, and we can be categorizing the data in a number of different ways. So here, this group is leadership, culture, and organizational development. And so we've got these grouped in different primary focus or primary domain and colored, so you can kind of get a sense of where they are on this.
How is access gotten to this map?
This is going to have a link to it on the HRC platform, Judy. And
But
so
it
you'll
doesn't now.
not yet. I'm going to do that later
Okay.
today. I wanted to show it here. I'm trying to see if I can get to. So on the platform, it'll be one of the links down here. So right now we have a link to the connected network. We'll add one for the impact network map.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think I could be human-centered care. I could get tagged and be in that group
You know,
with
and
dog
Vic,
tuners.
yeah, Vic, I think that's great. The challenge is everybody could kind of be bucketed in a number of different ways. And so the primary, so if that's what you think is your primary, then just send me a note on
Oh,
the
that's
platform.
tough because I'm also
I
business to
know.
business support.
I
So
know.
I'm not sure this is really going to work as if you can only be in one bucket, because some people are going to be in multiple buckets. That's
Well,
called a many-to-many relationship in database design.
yeah, yeah. And that's why we've got primary area of focus, and then we have secondary. So the primary domain just gives us an ability to bucket in one way, but we can have the secondary domains. The other visualization that we've created here, and so there's a number of things we're going to do. These are just the two that we're rolling out for people to look at and give us insight on. And this one gets crazy. So let me show you what we're doing. The colors change purposely so that you can see that we're actually filtering on a different thing with the colors here. If we use the same colors, it would be, I think, a little bit more confusing to recognize that this map is doing something different. This one is focused on what we're calling the transformation role. And so if I scroll in here, you'll see that we've got a transformation role. So they're listed in the legends, but this one is these individuals or organizations rather are focusing on healing the current healthcare system. They're working on strengthening people and practice. And so their work is really on what's currently going on in our, I see I got the internet unstable. So let me know if I'm breaking up. But these are the ones who are working within
Yeah,
health.
you are, but
It's okay. Okay. We also have healing from within, but these individuals are looking at innovative care models or experience. And so there's different groups. There are 3 categories that we've identified as healing from within. So they're seeking to serve the existing system and help to support it, where others are building infrastructure for the future, for example. So if I click on this, I'm going to show you if I click here on focus, now I can look at just that group. So these organizations we've identified as building infrastructure for the future. So they are working on creating tools that are new and innovative into the system, but it's really the future of healthcare. And we've categorized them here. We might need to recategorize them, but I'll show you we've got transforming systems. So there's a big group here that are looking at transforming systems and structures. And so we've bucketed these groups here. So these are individuals who are really working on how do we do this differently or speak to it. So Health for the People, that's Keely's organization. They're really speaking, they're prompting up conversations around 15 different themes that they see as the future of healthcare. And so this one gives a different visualization. The intent here is, so now you'll see we've got the red is indicating around that category of transforming systems, but we still have other connections here. So if I hover on Medicine Forward, you'll see that we're connected here to the transformation systems, but they're also connected over here in the innovation and entrepreneurship. So this is one of those primary focuses. So this enables us to see this organization across 2 different views. But you can also just filter from here and filter down. So the intent with what we're doing with demonstrating this today is these maps are very dynamic. There is a lot that we can do with them. What I like about them is we can have a ton of data, and then we can create specific views that then, Robert, to what your point, and Rosanna, to your point too, you might say, okay, what I need is this view, because that's already going to filter things down to a specific area, take out some of that burden. Now I can focus in and get the greater detail that I want. But what we're looking at, so right now on the Impact Network map, we only have 90 organizations. When we populate that with more and more organizations, it will be very overwhelming. So we want to ensure that as we create views to help slice that data better for you, you'll be able to work with it. And then the next thing that we want to bring in on that map is the initiatives. What projects are being worked on? And especially when they're collaborative projects across a couple different organizations, so that somebody then could come to the map and say, I really want to help with whatever. And they can find what is happening and reach out to those organizations and say, I would like to contribute. So that ability to find where your niche is that you want to volunteer or assist with in some manner. The offer and asks that we're starting to cultivate is in some part intended to help with that. So if you're calling out that I want to bring people together on a conversation or a project around this, that can be an ask. And we can start to elevate that. We can have a view that is specific to asks that then somebody could go to and easily see what's being asked for and whether or not they want to contribute to that. Paul.
So an analogy just came to my somewhat off brain that, this is sort of like the 8 men looking at the elephant with blindfolds on. Each one sees a different part, except that what you're providing is 16 different tools for dissecting the elephant to find the right part.
Paul is known for stories and analogies.
True.
I like that though, Paul. I feel like what you just showed us, that different view kind of gets to what Vic was talking about before, where like maybe even though it's not your primary focus, you can see how you're still connected to both of those initiatives. And it's very clear for me, if I was to look and say, okay, I have this project I want to work on, who might I reach out to? Oh, this person looks like they're a bridge because they do this and this. That's going to be my first person I might reach out to. So I appreciate that view a lot. And my understanding is kind of the reason that there's two separate things is essentially neither one of these could do all of the functionalities of both of them cleanly. So we're kind of having two different ways to log in so we could do all the things we wanted to do. Is that fair?
The login, are you meaning the HRC platform versus, or the two
Sorry.
different maps?
The two different maps.
Yeah. The intent there, Keely, actually one map could do all of that. But right now, to be able to put one on the website and make sure that I'm not messing it up as I play with the other one, I created two different maps. But our intent is in the future, it's one big data set with multiple views. And then the view that we want to be public on the website is what would be shared rather than the whole thing. But right now, because we're still in very much a playground, we want to make sure that we're not disrupting what is publicly shared.
Okay. So the one we were just looking at, you can hover and see the same type of things we were seeing in the first map.
I didn't build that into the functionality. That's an easy flip the switch or code that I would put into it to be able to do that. One of the reasons why I thought the hover would be challenging is because when there are thousands of dots out there, it's going to get in the way. And so I didn't put the hover on at this stage.
Okay.
So I have a couple polls that I'll launch, and let's ask you a couple questions.
While you're getting that set up, you just reminded me that, SyncMD, my company, is 10-year-old startup, but it wasn't very difficult to layer on an AI tool on top of the product so that people could search their own personal medical records. And it's easy to see that we're going to end up with an AI tool built into this map that will allow you to search with natural language. And it's not going to take long before that happens.
Yeah, we're already
That's
playing
exciting.
behind the scenes with that. Yeah. So we have 12 people, 13, 14. Okay. I'll count down from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, share results. We have most of the group here is actively contributing. That doesn't surprise me. That's who we're convening together, definitely. So we've got one more poll. We are all over the place, which is exactly what we're looking for within those that we gather. We are, like I said, we're trying to be that bridge across the different efforts within healthcare and transformation within healthcare.
Denise,
Yeah.
I'm not able to see the poll. I'm on my phone right now.
Oh,
It's it's a nightmare actually. Yeah, if you could send that poll, what was the question? I guess I'll just put it that way.
yes. The question is, where do you focus or want to focus most of your change-making efforts? And then it lists a bunch of different categories. So,
oh, okay.
So here's the results. So we've got a good group around burnout and moral injury. And then spatter. Oh, here we go. A bunch of others, of course. Couldn't possibly list it all. We have a long list, and I was just trying to put in those that I thought were the most relevant. So good. So I'm curious, as change makers, since you guys responded that you are primarily change makers, what is the biggest challenge that you face in your work right now? And if you'd put that in chat, silos, status quo mentality. Andrew, I'd love to hear you talk about that.
You want me just to kind of jump in and put a
I
little
would
more?
love it. Yeah.
Sure. No, I appreciate it. And again, I've been guilty of this during my career too, but I think in healthcare, one of the things we have to be very cautious of when we say we're change makers is that, with as many areas where there's room for improvement in healthcare, when we say we want to push forward, I've noticed, and I've been in the rural healthcare space, and it's probably for the last 8, 9 years of my career in various positions throughout leadership. And where we always speak about, we want to serve the community, we have to improve the health of the community. And when we come up with innovation, whether it be telemedicine or putting more resources in the hands of the end user, which is the patient or their family at the end of the day, my frustration has grown is where we talk about that, but when we get very close to being able to get over that hump, I've noticed in the areas I've been is where people start to throw up their hands, where they're like, oh no, change. And we end up having to spin our wheels just to go 4 steps forward. And to me, it's just maddening. So that's what I mean by a status quo mentality, to where I've worked in some of the sickest locations and some of the poorest locations in healthcare, and it just makes me want to beat my head into a wall. So that's what I meant by status quo mentality.
That'd be a topic for a group meeting.
Yeah, it would. Andrew, as you were talking, there's the bounce back theory. So, for instance, when we think about COVID forced us all to make radical changes quickly, but the bounce back theory says that when that is gone, that prompt to change, we want to bounce back to where we were in the past because that's safe. We know it. We might not like it, but we know it. And so that's kind of what came to mind as you were talking.
Yeah. And there's that comfort zone, but I think, and I know I'm not saying anything that's going to blow anyone's mind here, but I personally think we just can't go back to what is comfortable, because what is comfortable doesn't allow us to move forward.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Molly, I see your hands up.
Yeah, I put in the chat, as a patient with a rare and chronic disease, my limitations, and I used to work in medical billing and coding. I had for over a decade. I know I can follow the money real easily. I know how that works, and the administrative barriers there are to getting proper care for patients and doctors as well. It's overwhelming. I think the limitations I face on a daily basis are managing my own limitations. There's so much that I want to do, but I have to really be picky, about the energy that I put forth and what my priorities are. But I also, in the grand scheme of things, and I've said this before, it's there's an ideology shift that needs to change before any massive upheaval can happen, I think. I feel like there's a general maybe unwillingness to kind of, I guess, change the status quo, because there are too many people who are benefiting from it right now. Well, not many people, but it's a few that are really, 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 really dead set on keeping it this way. So I'm not sure what avenue to, would be the best outlet for me to apply my own experience and commentary to help. I guess that's where,
Keely says she would like to connect with you, Molly.
Oh, great.
Talk about
I have lots of options for you that I think would potentially be good ways to connect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, Paul.
Kind of like to be part of that call.
It's time to talk about the women's suffrage movement. So here I go again. 6 women decided to have tea together in 1840 in Seneca Falls, New York, and they decided that women ought to have the right to vote. And they achieved that, but unfortunately it took 80 years and they were all dead. They did not have access to the internet, to Zoom, to AI, to video conferencing, to computers, but we do. And we is how this happens. It starts small and then it gets bigger. And people will find, I wanted to say this and then I'll shut up. What's massively interesting about this network map is the surprise that will happen. It's going to be the surprise. What you already know you already know. But what you don't know is somebody else who's trying to do something similar that you need to know, and you'll find them this way. So finding each other is the two loops model, pulling innovators together so that they create the next paradigm. None of us are going to do it alone. None of us know what it's even going to be. It'll be an emergent property, but we're doing the work, and we're not just 6. We're already bigger than that. And I'll shut up.
I agree with you, Paul.
There's a lot of people on this call. It's impressive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we already have several hundred members in HRC.
Mhm. So as we close, so just a reminder, we have networking conversations after this. So I hope that you're staying with us 30 minutes. We will put you in breakout rooms of 2 to 3 people. You'll have 7 minutes to get to know each other. So let me, or stick with us if you can. I'll also stay in the main room. So if somebody wants to continue to talk about the maps or HRC or anything else, you can stay with me and talk too. I'd love that. But we'll put everybody else into breakouts. So a couple things. Again, we highly, highly recommend, wish that you would join us in the network member level of the membership. So there is the public lobby. You can dip your toe in and see a section of the HRC platform. You can find the link to do that off our website with the Join Us. But for the discounted membership, I'm putting that link again. And that enables us to put your organization, so whomever you're representing, on the map. And I'd love to be able to do that. And again, I also posted, I would love help with this map. Again, we are creating this to serve you. The only way that we can create it in a manner that best serves you is with the input from you. So if you've got an interest in, Robert, I'm looking at you. If you have an interest in assisting in any manner, we would be welcome to have you join us in that collaborative group. All right, so we've got 4 minutes left for just open conversation as a full group, and then I'll start putting the breakout rooms together. We can talk about anything now if you'd like. Anybody have something they'd like to ask or offer?
I put it in the chat, but there's several books on change management that I think are really useful. Damon Centola's on change, the sociology of change, and John Cotter's Harvard Business School books are great.
I have a really random one for those of you who don't know. I'm moving to Belize in about a month.
Yeah.
And so for anyone who's burnt out in the current system and looking for a new home, if you'd like to come join us in Belize, we would appreciate all of your knowledge, and you can live for very cheap and just do what you love to do. So reach out.
You know, Keely, I was telling the group before we opened the waiting room that we just got back from Germany and we did our first grocery shop. Shocking. It was more than double what we were spending in Germany. It was just ridiculous.
I've been to Belize. I want to come back.
Well, come on.
Have you guys found a home?
Yourself set up for retirement for about 50 grand. Like you can, it's crazy. We are renting for this first 6 months so we can try to find a bigger piece of property because we are intentionally trying to build a community there of people who are different.
I've heard there isn't a good expat community in Belize, actually. That in Panama, I think.
Yeah, there is.
Where are you located in Belize?
San Ignacio is where we're going to be. Yeah. And there is. And so
I would love to come.
Ping me as soon as you catch a permit.
A permit?
A permit. The fish.
Oh. Okay.
Keely, how did you pick Belize?
Well, it has a stable democracy. It speaks English. Well, it doesn't speak anything. And the people there are kind, and it's close enough that I could do my virtual health coaching for people in the US because I'm in Central Time Zone. So I can still share my skills and my passion with the patients that I want to reach, and keep on working on trying to fix the US healthcare system from afar.
That's awesome.
Kudos to you. That's impressive.
Thank you.